Hello, everyone. Welcome in today. Today, we're going to go through our AFC East draft grades. It's been a while since we got back into this. Unfortunately, I got sick prior to a vacation. We went on vacation. Now we're going to finish them out. It's a little late, but hopefully, you guys still want to see my thoughts. I know people hate draft grades, but to me, it's just a way for me to evaluate myself in the next few years. And I like to look back and see how I felt about a guy versus how he turned out. So let's go ahead and jump into the first team in the division. That's going to be the New England Patriots. They started off the draft at number 4 overall, taking Will Campbell, the tackle out of LSU. That one I'm going to go ahead and give a B grade to. I don't hate the pick. I don't love the pick. It was a little early, but I understand why they made it. So that's how I rationalized a B. Round 2, pick 6, they had Travion Henderson. He ended up getting a B as well. I like the pick, but same idea. It was about the right value. I understand why they made it, but there's nothing special about it to me. The next pick I'm a little lower on. That's Kyle Williams, the wide receiver out of Washington State. I gave that a C minus. I wasn't as high as a lot of the general draft public. I had him as more of a 4th round grade. He is quite electric, which is something the Patriots offense needs. So hopefully he's able to contribute and do exactly what he think he can do. As far as providing the big plays to the offense. We'll have to wait and see if he can actually do it, but that's certainly the goal. Round 3, pick 31, though, I think they got a great steal. They took Jared Wilson. He's going to be our future center out of Georgia. He's an A grade to me. I almost gave it an A plus because I loved it so much. I had a late 2nd round grade on him. Getting him at the end of the 3rd round is fantastic value. Going ahead and looking at their day 3 picks, Craig Woodson, 4th round, perfectly fine with that. They got Joshua Farmer in the 4th round. That's a good one for me. I didn't give it a steal because I did have him more as like a late 3, early 4, and they got him towards the end of the 4, so it was a good value. Not a steal. Like Braden Swinson, who they got in the 5th round, I had a late to mid 2nd round grade on him. He ended up being a steal here at round 5, pick 8. Absolutely love this pick for him. I think he's going to make a huge impact for this team. And I really do think that he's going to have a successful NFL career. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm just high on him for no good reason, but I really feel good about this. Their later picks, I understand, and I think they're all okay. They took Andres Borregales, the kicker out of Miami. By all means, he should be a really good kicker, but who knows? There's been some weird things in the past. You just never know what's going to really happen with kickers, but I understand why they made that pick. They took Marcus Bryant, the left tackle out of Missouri, not LSU. He's somebody that I understand good tackle depth. Bring him in. He wasn't bad, but right in the right range. I had a 7 to undrafted grade on him. They took a long snapper and then they cut Joe Cardona. I'm sad about him getting rid of Cardona as a Patriots fan, but I do understand why they made the move. Get younger and cheaper at the position. And then Mr. Irrelevant this year was Kobe Minor, the cornerback out of Memphis. I didn't watch him, but whatever, man. It's the last pick of the draft. Overall, I think this was a really good draft for the Patriots. I think they got a ton of value. They made a lot of right decisions. I think I'm putting a lot of value in Braden Swinson, Joshua Farmer, and Jared Wilson here when I say this is going to be an A minus draft for me. I really like it. I understand why they made the picks they did, and I think it was just the right decision overall for this team. Moving on to the New York Jets. They went ahead and picked at number 7 overall, Armin Membu, the tackle out of Missouri. I'm going to give that an A. Absolutely love it. He'll start a day 1 right tackle for him. He has a high ceiling, in my opinion. Fantastic pick. And then they took Mason Taylor at round 2, pick 10. That's a B value to me. I think it was a little early. I almost went B minus, but overall good pick for him. I understand it. Round 3, pick 9, they took Azariah Thomas. I'm going to give that a B plus. I had like a right around top 50 grade on him. No issue at all with the value here. I understand him dropping a little bit due to speed concerns, and I do think he is a bit of a risky pick, but I'm going to bet on him just with his feistiness that it'll work at the next level. And then they took possibly one of the worst picks of the draft for me at round 4, pick 8. I know it's the start of day 3. I had an undrafted grade on Arian Smith. He can't catch the ball, man. I know he's fast and the NFL's obsessed with speed, but it's a really bad pick in my opinion. Do not love it. It's early. Hopefully he proves me wrong. I'm not rooting against him or anything, but just feels super early to me. Malachi Moore, the safety out of Alabama, goes at round 4, pick 28. No issue with that. Almost got a good grade, but it was right in the right range for me. I had him more as like a mid to early 4th round grade. No problem with the pick at all. Round 5, pick 26, they took Francisco Maui-Noa, the linebacker out of Miami. Maybe a little early, but linebackers were going, so I understand trying to get a guy in there if you're looking for one. Tyler Barron, the edge out of Miami. No issues with that pick. That's right around the right range in the draft for him. Overall, I ended up giving the Jets draft a B plus, which is quite impressive. Did not expect that out of them. They did a really good job getting value in this. Not quite as good as my Patriots. I'm really dogging them hard. I'm not going to lie for their Arian Smith pick. It's probably more of an A minus if I'm being honest with you, but we're going to stick with our B plus. Moving on now to the Miami Dolphins. They're going to go ahead and pick Kenneth Grant at pick 13. I'm going to give that a B. Good value. No issue with that pick at all. Like the pick for him, makes a ton of sense. Then at round 2, pick 5, they took Jonas Savanaia a little bit early, but I fully understand why they did it. I gave that one a B minus. Love the pick. And I almost went with a B because For me, B is not a bad thing. B is like, it's a good pick. It makes sense. I don't think you got a ton of extra value out of it. And that's kind of what I felt with Savanaia. I was a little bit lower on him, but I do understand why they made that selection. On day three, Jordan Phillips, round five, pick five. That's fine with me, right around the range I had him. Jason Marshall Jr., no issues with that pick. The corner out of Florida. And then Dante Trader Jr., the safety out of Maryland. You could argue there was better safeties on the board when they took him, but, I don't have an issue with that pick at all. Get your guy. Not every scheme is looking for the same type of player. So I do understand that. To me, Ollie Gordon, a lot of people found value here. I had him as more of like a 7 to undrafted type player. The running back out of Oklahoma State. They took him in the round 6. I marked it early, but even that's borderline. Like round 6, round 7, you're kind of taking a shot on your guys that you think could make an impact or be back of the roster players. But I'm still going to call it a little early for him. I would have preferred if they maybe got him later in the round, but they didn't have another pick or wait till the 7th. They took Quinn Ewers at round 7, pick 15. To me, that was good value. I had no issues with that one at all. I think I had a late 5 grade on him, so it's a little bit of extra value getting him, so that's a good pick. And then Zeke Biggers, no issue with that pick at the end of the 7th round. Overall, the Dolphins had themselves a pretty good draft. I really think they did the right things early on, building this team up and getting a little bit tougher with the picks of Savanaia and Grant. So hopefully they're kind of learning from their past mistakes about being an all finesse speed team. And maybe this will help them transition into a new era. But I'm going to go ahead and give their final grade a B. This draft was good, and I think it's solid. No issues with it, but, I don't think it was a special draft to get anything more than that. Overall, pretty happy with it, and I think they did a good job. Now we're going to go to the division winner, Buffalo Bills. They went ahead and took Maxwell Harrison at round 1, pick 30. I gave that a B. He was like 39 on my big board. No issue with that at all. Round 2, pick 9, they took TJ Sanders. This one's early to me, man. I gave it a D-. I had more of like a late 3, early 4 grade on TJ Sanders. Just not as high on him as the general public. I know that, and it's okay that, sometimes you're a little bit lower on a guy. So hopefully I'm wrong on this. I don't like being hard, but they traded up to get him. This one's a D-. Couldn't do an F. I don't think it was that bad. If they'd taken him in the first round, I probably would have done an F, but I can deal with this selection. I just don't love it, honestly. Next up, round 3, pick 8, Landon Jackson, the edge out of Arkansas. Perfect range for him. I gave this a B. Love the pick. They're kind of taking a dart throw on a guy who showed a lot more athleticism than I thought he had on tape at the combine. So maybe there's more to his game and he can develop further. I think it's a good dart throw at the beginning of the 3rd round. In the 4th round, Dayon Walker. Didn't love the pick this early, but I don't have an issue with it. I had like a mid to late 4th round grade, but I didn't want to call it early. It's fine. Get your guy. Round 5, pick 34. They took Jordan Hancock, the corner out of Ohio State. I didn't watch his tape. Not going to lie to you, so I'm not going to dog it. I'm just going to say that's okay value. Jackson Hawes, the tight end out of Georgia Tech. I actually like this one, round 5, pick 37, but it's right in the range I had him. So it's an okay value, but he's going to be a good blocking tight end. And I think he's a type of player they don't have on their team right now. And I do think he'll step in and be a good player for him. Round 6, pick 1, they got Dorian Strong, the corner out of Virginia Tech. Love that pick. Think it's a ton of value. I think he has a chance of getting on the field and being a good player for him. I don't understand why he fell this far. Maybe there's something that hasn't come out yet as far as an injury or something, but I had like a 4th round grade on him. I definitely was shocked he was available in the 6th round. And then Chase Lunt, the tackle out of UConn, went at round 6, pick 30. No issue with that pick at all. Perfectly fine value there. And at the end of the 7th round, they took Caden Prather, the wide receiver out of Maryland. I watched some of his tape, didn't write up a final report because I watched Ty Felton, and I had him as an undrafted guy, so I didn't bother to write up a report and study him closely. But end of the round 7, whatever. I'm fine with that pick. Overall, though, due to their trade for TJ Sanders and such a bad grade in the 2nd round and giving up value to get there, I'm going to go ahead and give this a C. I don't love this draft for the Buffalo Bills. I do think that the trade for TJ Sanders just doesn't sit well with me. He's not the defensive tackle that I think they needed. I think they needed more beef on this defense. And, Dayon Walker's just not that guy. Like, to me, he is beefy, but he plays high. He wants to play more like a 5 tech or maybe a 3 tech. He's definitely not a nose type guy. Sanders is a good with the bull rush and all that, but he's a smaller guy. I just don't think he's what they actually needed. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe they have a plan that I don't see, but I think they need toughness and beef on this defense. And I just don't think they did that with TJ Sanders. So I didn't love this one as well, as much as I hoped, but we'll find out in a few years who's right and who's wrong with this draft class. I hope anybody that I'm low on in this division somehow ends up being better than what I thought. So, don't want to see anybody be a bust. I'm not rooting for anybody to fail. I want to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll be back with more divisional rankings soon. Have a great day. I'm out.